Hi, good afternoon. This is Mike Munger with the Career Transition Center of Chicago. And today we are going to do a quick video on how to work with recruiters. I've been recruiting for 12 years now and manage a team of recruiters. So today we're just going to kind of dive through some of the basics of recruiting and how to connect with them. Um, the first question you always get is internal versus external. There is a difference there. Internal is really an employee of the HR department or a company. All the jobs they work are within their company. They have direct access to the hiring manager and the other way around. So the hiring manager kind of knows their extension and provides good feedback usually. Um, it's definitely a good person to connect with and build a relationship with if you are really trying to get into the same company, because they will typically be the frontline point of contact for most of their openings. And then a fun fact is internal recruiters do juggle quite a few jobs. 20 to 40 at once is not uncommon because they are just kind of sifting through applicants that apply, and but their attention is very diverted sometimes. External recruiters, which is what I am, and most of the folks that have like a goofy company name, basically are working for the clients as a staffing firm, and so they're kind of an external HR team for the client. They have a wide variety of openings they're trying to fill for different clients. They may have like one client they're working with Microsoft as one of their clients. That's probably enough work to keep them busy. But usually they have a variety of clients. And so they are a really good resource to kind of see what's going on with the market, because they have that diversity. They only get paid if you get the job. So they'll definitely go, the extra mile. Not that internal recruiters wouldn't, but we would format your resume, really try to coach you through interviews and make sure that you beat our competition, because that's very important to us, is that you get the job. Obviously, we want to get paid. Internal recruiters would be paid by salary, conversely. And so as opposed to internal recruiters, working with as many external as you can is a good idea. And again, they'll have multiple clients that they can try to get you into consideration for, hopefully. The one thing in common is we both work for hiring managers. That is kind of the person that we are always trying to win over one way or the other. And I think that's unique. Just in general, what we're trying to do is give, the hiring manager enough information about you that they get excited to set up an interview. I think that goes across both mediums there. The best way to connect with a recruiter is to be seen by one. We typically use the job boards you see below here in the slide, and I highly recommend posting a resume on there. It's less common these days. Most people go to LinkedIn, which is a very big tool. That's probably the biggest tool of connecting with recruiters. But it gets diluted. There's a lot of people on LinkedIn. So the job boards do sometimes easier to find because of the keyword searches. And having a thorough resume, speaking of keywords, we use those to do our searches. So the more thorough your resume is, the more content you have, the more likely you'll be seen. You'll be stack ranked higher than other candidates. If we only send out 50 messages and get 10 responses and only submit 3 candidates, you want to be one of those first 50 to get a message. I recommend building a relationship with a specific opening as the best way to really get a recruiter's attention. Again, we have a lot going on, and we do work for the clients. So, going to and applying for a job, or you could see on CareerBuilder or some of these other sites, again, the company name will kind of give it away. That is the staffing agency. And really trying to connect with somebody at that agency, given that opening, and referencing that opening is the best way. It's okay to be a little bit more aggressive when reaching out to external recruiter postings like this, because they're just getting so many bombarded with emails that there's no detriment of staying in touch with them. Whereas maybe an internal, you don't want to annoy too much. This next one, there's only, the reason again for the focusing on an opening is it's just easiest to forget who we presented in the past. And so if we submit 2 to 3 candidates per opening, we have 40 openings. You can see how as time goes on, we're not going to be able to kind of remember very well what's going on. So even if it's not the role you're interested in, it's okay to follow up and say, hey, thanks for reaching out to me. I'm glad you noticed me. I'd love to build a relationship with you on this type of opening, or do you see anything that's 100% remote? Whatever the case, it's not a bad idea, because they might have that position open both internally and externally. Some additional ways to kind of strengthen your candidacy is, I always say the 1, 2, 3s is on the job description. 1, do you have the skills experience? 2, and then are you communicating it well enough? Who, why, what, where, when, as 3. And if that's the case, you'll stand out to us. That's really, we don't have time to write people's resumes. So having that thorough, again, resume that matches a job description is a great point. And if there is something that you notice on the description, the recruiter calls you or sends an email and you didn't have it on the resume, I think it's a great idea to follow up and just draft a bullet point saying, hey, I saw this on the description. I do have that experience. Here it is. We'll use that. We'll take it to the hiring managers. So that sort of stuff is a huge help, even if we don't ask for it. Being proactive there will really help you just show that you're committed to working with us and getting the position. And then, really trying to, we really need to sell hiring managers, again, kind of with a note above. But if there's anything that you notice that will help us, pitch the hiring manager or the clients, my friend used to work there. I worked in a similar size environment. I know a little bit about this tool that I see on the description because I used it before. Those types of things we will always, we use anything we can to get the interview. So adding something like that, these bullet points are all things that I've added to resumes before to send to hiring managers to try to get their attention. So be open about that kind of stuff, and anything you can think of that might be a little tidbit or something, again, we can run up the ladder and try to beat some other candidates in consideration. And then go ahead. It's okay to, completely okay to stay in touch with recruiters in general. But really, if you're on a specific opening, it's a great way to, if you have another offer, let us know. If you, feel like you're going to get another offer, you have a lot of interviews, those are things that we can go back to the hiring manager and really try to push them or sell them on the fact that, you're a hot commodity and we don't want to lose you. I've seen interviews expedited because of that, and I've seen offers made ahead of time because of that. And in general, I think it's okay to really just stay in touch with recruiters as a whole. And then, some kind of just general thoughts, that the things that have come up quite a bit is, be honest, whatever it is. I mean, I list here money, commute. The more you communicate with us, the more we're able to place you in the right job. We really don't want to go through the whole process if it's not going to be a good fit. And so telling us up front what you're looking for is the best way to go. Sometimes it's fair to, if you get contacted by multiple recruiters, maybe for the same opening, if it's a client that's really popular. So sometimes they have multiple agencies working, and then maybe there's an internal recruiter. Asking some questions of them and qualifying them a little bit is perfectly acceptable. How many times have you worked with the hiring manager? How many candidates have you placed at this client? Those are all great questions to kind of see how much they know about the role, and then kind of give you an idea of where they stand and how well they're advocating for you. One difference, I think, that particularly with CTC, all we want you to do well. We want you to present well. Internal recruiters and managers know their phone number. So if the candidate doesn't do great, it reflects badly on them. Externals simply won't get paid if we don't do well, and you don't do well while working with us. So the point I guess I'm trying to make here is we are paid by the clients, and we work for the clients or hiring managers. So we're not career coaches. If there's a lot of advice or help, you'll definitely get it if you connect on a job. Otherwise, it's kind of tough to just connect with the recruiter and go through some of the interviewing tips or resume tips without connecting on a specific job. And then I think it's perfectly okay to, I kind of touched on this before, but building rapport with recruiters, definitely if they reach out to you. But even if you are in the market and you understand they're not a career coach, but you just want to say, hey, I see you have these types of openings. Here's my resume. Just short and sweet. I really like quick little messages. I have some candidates that email me news articles and things like that do pique my interest and prompt a response. So getting creative with it's not a bad idea either. And at the end of the day, it's perfectly okay to try to network with recruiters as well. Just again, knowing that our focus is with the clients for the most part. So that's it. Thank you so much for coming to this short video here, and I hope you all have a great evening. Take care. Bye-bye.